Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. D, and I am overjoyed to be spending my lunch hour with you if you are here on the East Coast. If you are some of our friends on the West Coast, then I hope you grab a cup of coffee, immunity, or your favorite green tea and spend some time with me and my guest. We are very fortunate today on our series called Majors Supporting Majors. We have a very special guest. Kim Ashley, Director of Motive Cosmetics, Skincare, and Layered, is joining us today to talk about how majors can support other majors. Now, Kim, you helped develop a pretty incredible formula that I want to share with our nutraMetrix community. Our practitioners need to know about this incredible ingredient, astearyl astaxanthin, but this time not in an oral product, in a nutraceutical, but in this case, a skin ceutical. You were primary instrumental in helping us kind of bridge the gap between health within a practitioner's office and that world of health through beauty, through skincare, and through ultimately putting I'm going to put out the joke there, our best face forward. So Kim, thank you for being our guest today.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to get to be here and talk with everyone. This product I'm pretty excited about. It's actually two products. It's coming out at the end of the month. It's available for pre-sale now. And we're super excited. I know Deedra and I have been talking a lot about, it's not just about beauty on the outside and health on the inside. You can connect the dots. So if you're feeling good inside, you can see it on the outside, right? So it's beauty health, and it makes everybody, you have a glow. It shows that, you're taking care.
Yeah, no, and I'm really glad that you brought up this point, because as I refer to it, Kim, as a bridge, I want to unpack that. I want to help people understand what we mean by that, because you started to talk about how when you are healthy on the inside, of course, we see that on the outside. Many people will look at a pregnant female, for example, and what do they say? They say, oh my word, she's beautiful, she's glowing, right? But the same is true for those that are glowing on the outside. We also flip that coin and we say, wow, they look so healthy. Right. And it's so important that we talk about this, that we help people understand that from an age perspective, from a mental health perspective, and quite literally from an overall well-being perspective, the face that we put forward, the health, the luminosity or glow of our skin, the quality and texture and smoothness of our skin, it is a primary indication of our overall health. Correct. But it also gives us keeps mental health and well-being within our grasp.
Right. So healthy is the reward. Looking healthy is what makes you feel good and want to continue to do what you're doing to have those results, right? And it's not just about, I think the nutraceuticals are incredible, but you also have to have a good skincare regimen to go along with the nutraceuticals, right? And how great is it to have a nutraceutical that actually connects with a skincare topical that can benefit each other and work together to make even better results?
Absolutely. So this is something I definitely want us to spend some time with. I want us to actually stop here, because you're talking about the combination of skinceuticals and nutraceuticals.
Right.
And I do think that many practitioners that work within nutraMetrix, the consultant that's working within nutraMetrix, and even the consultant that's kind of looking for their very best accounts, that practitioner that's talking about wellness, but more of a holistic approach to well-being, which clearly includes skin health and well-being. If we often underestimate the impact that a skincare line can bring to a practice. Well, and you brought it up because you said everybody needs a skincare regimen. And that word regimen got me thinking, Well, what we're really looking for, whether it's the regimen or within a practice, we want people to continue to follow a good habit. We want them to follow
Right.
through and do something day to day. And honestly, one of the best gateways to help people manage health habits that, quite frankly, they find difficult, health habits on a day-to-day basis, is to introduce something that they want to do every day, that bit of self-care through a
Yes.
skincare regimen. What do you think about that?
I mean, I totally agree with that. I think it's important, once you get into a routine, it takes a good 2 weeks. If you can do it for 2 weeks, you're in, and then you start seeing results, because this product is not just a drugstore product, right? It has clinical studies, and the facts are there. You will see more hydrated skin complexion in less than 2 weeks, and that's stuff that keeps people connected and wanting to use the product, right? When they see those results. Whenever you get results like that, then you continue to want to get your hands on more, which then can be a gateway into more on the nutraceutical sales, other skincare items that we offer sales. It's like a gateway to much more for that customer.
I think that's an important point that you're making, because as nutraMetrix consultants or practitioners ask the big question, again, in this kind of overarching theme that we've created in nutraMetrix, which is the majors supporting majors, understanding that within this much larger company, and let me rephrase that, within a division of a much larger company, there's a lot of space and opportunity to expand a horizon, to kind of get into a new frontier. And for many practitioners, speaking about overall well-being through skincare would be considered a new frontier. And Kim, what they're doing is they're asking themselves, but is the science there? Because we all do, as you had mentioned, have that experience with something that we got over the counter, or something that we got through kind of a drugstore lotion, or even something that we've purchased in the past and it hasn't produced the results that we're looking for. So you brought up that important point of clinical studies, that one of the ways that we can not just bridge that gap and improve adherence, because again, that bridging the gap comes to making a space for this, saying this is meaningful and relevant in a healthcare facility. And then that idea of adherence, or patient adherence, where they say, this is a routine I could get involved with. And that may end up turning into, as you said, additional valued skincare products, additional valued nutraceuticals that were branded for beauty from the inside out. I want to talk a little bit about synergy today with collagen and astaxanthin. Again, because it's the results, it's the clinical studies behind a product, an ingredient in particular, that are going to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, right? That this is going to give you the results that you were looking for. And it's going to give you ultimately, and this is a word that I'm stealing from you, a different experience than you've had before. I think we can agree with the luxurious feel of Lumiere de Vie Cellular Laboratories that there is an experience that individuals, take themselves through. It's not just this scrub my face, right? I've got to cleanse, tone, moisturize, but it feels less like a daily regimen and more like a treatment that
it totally is. And I think that's the important thing to point out. Like, the gelée is a treatment that we chose the gelée because it penetrates deeper into the skin, right? So that's the magic behind that one. And then the hand and body cream, it's not just an everyday cream. It is a treatment. I tested it, of course, and I have little bottles around my house of samples. And I like to put it on 2 to 3 times a week, but also at nighttime, and sleep in it. It's thick, it's creamy, and you are going to get that. You wake up, and I always feel like I'm softer whenever I wake up in the morning, right? And you start to see the results more hydrated, and especially going into these winter months, we all need the hydration, the heat and the cold air, it will dry you out. And I think what's important is when your customer is feeling good on the outside, you can really tell, that they're feeling good about themselves and they want more of it.
So let's talk a little bit about the science behind it, because I agree with you that the way we make people feel goes a very long distance to helping them with their compliance. It goes a very long distance to help them understand what they can expect today. But we're going to talk about the clinical studies. What can you expect in 2 to 3 or 4 weeks? And what can you expect over time? And you brought up an important indicator of skin health, especially skin health as we age, which is hydration factors. As we age, certain things like hyaluronidase in our skin, certain things like something called sodium PCA, which is naturally produced in the skin, starts to decline, just simply as an issue of age. And so replacement makes a lot of sense to people. But also being able to hold on, have a mechanism behind holding on to hydration, which ultimately comes down to improving all layers of the skin.
Absolutely.
Improving the way they respond, not just to skincare treatments, but to your diet, to your sleep, to your own oral hydration, and then of course to nutraceuticals that can reduce concerns with oxidative stress on the inside. But this is one of the reasons why you chose astaxanthin, is because it is a super antioxidant when it comes to protecting the body from oxidative stress, which is in addition to drying skin or less capacity for that skin buoyancy or skin layer buoyancy as we age. There's also that considerable risk with oxidative stress. And so astaxanthin is really playing both sides of this coin by initially working with all layers of the skin to improve its hydration factors, its capacity to hold on to hydration. In fact, studies on both oral and topical astaxanthin do show improved hydration by the better part of 50% hydration for individuals that use an oral astaxanthin with as little as 6 milligrams oral astaxanthin, and then a topical astaxanthin. And Kim, I think people would be surprised at how small a milligram amount you need to use
pea size,
right?
Yes.
To be able to see that benefit and in such a short period of time. So share with us a little bit about a study that showed women that applied just a pea-sized amount of the Astaryl astaxanthin and what that showed for them. And then I definitely want to get back to what you mentioned about the gel A being able to penetrate deeper into the skin.
Yeah, so the clinical results show that a measurable improvement in skin moisture in just as little as 3 weeks and skin smoothness after just 2 weeks. Astaxanthin has a good relationship with the cell membrane, so it's making it ideal for topically being used, right? So it suitably penetrates into the skin, giving maximum results. Again, that was the whole point with the gel A. It already penetrates excellent in the skin, but the gel A goes even deeper into the skin membrane. And I think that's important to point out to your patients and customers, that they understand that you can't get this any other way topically. It's really going deep.
I think
and the other thing is we're the first in the US to have this.
Well, no, that's
whenever we did
factor.
Yes, whenever we were doing the research on this, Japan is where this is at right now. And I tried to get it here so I could see the product and get an idea and send it to, the science that made the product for us. And I had to call Taiwan to get them to buy the product for me because I could not find it here anywhere.
Well,
So
I do
we are
think,
the
yeah,
first.
we are. And I do think that's really important because one of the things that helps our practitioner stand out is that they are often a practitioner, Kim, that is very unique within their discipline
Mhm.
to be able to offer such a diverse suite of wellness services. And of course, skincare
Right.
just adds to that. Um, so the fact that first off that there isn't another competitor skincare line that's going to be able to offer you an acetyl
Mhm.
astaxanthin in a gelée. I also think it's important that we don't just talk about that level of exclusivity, but that most people's experience with a topical cream is that it's going to get down through the first layer of skin. It's going to do something about the way the skin very superficially comes together and even do some work to heal a barrier or to work on
Right.
a skin barrier. But of course, as they make the joke, beauty is more than skin deep. So let's go a
Mhm.
little bit deeper
Exactly.
into the skin, right? In fact, in this case, because of the unique nature and shape of astaxanthin, it spans the entire bilipid layer. It spans the entire cell membrane from side to side. And that means it's able to communicate very effectively with antioxidants that are
Mhm.
intracellular antioxidants. So now we're thinking about things like coenzyme Q10 and
Right.
energy production. So coenzyme Q10 is an antioxidant that is in, for example, an OPC3 triple serum. It is used orally. And one of the benefits of using a coenzyme Q10 orally is its ability to do just that, is help cells with their energy production. Well, we want to look at this from the other side, that when we have an antioxidant that is topically applied on the outside, acetyl astaxanthin in your two new products, and the fact that it's able to communicate with an inside the cell antioxidant like coenzyme Q10, we help with
Mhm.
energy reserves, but we also help with oxidation balance. And because of that connection, it's able to work through the entire skin layer. And that's a powerful place to be because we're not just looking at a superficial topical, we're looking at
Right.
something that can go very deep into the skin, that was formulated to go deep into the skin, and now has the potential to communicate with other nutrition, oral nutrition, that can enhance or amplify the way that works. I want to bring up a study that was used with acetyl astaxanthin and collagen, is that
Mhm.
studies showed that collagen production is also improved with topical astaxanthins, and that commingling or use of both topical and oral
Mhm.
astaxanthin with an oral collagen is very beneficial at kind of getting that synergy that we keep talking about. And the reason
Right.
I wanted to bring that up is because, of course, we have practitioners um, and nutraMetrix consultants that are already prepared and comfortable with the dialogue about oral health, right?
Mhm.
And now what I want them to do is to take this information that you're giving us and say, this is a great feature of the acetyl astaxanthin in the new Lumiere de Vie gelée, and as well as in the hand and body treatment, right? That we now have something that's going to uh, pair with the oral nutrition that you're already
Right.
using.
It
You've
works
mentioned
together.
it works absolutely together. You've mentioned skin hydration, as did I. Clinical studies on this particular ingredient in as little as 3 weeks, skin hydration,
Mhm.
skin smoothness in as little as two. Anything that we do to stop oxidative stress can really do wonders to decrease the line length and line
Right.
depth of fine
Right.
lines and wrinkles. Astaxanthin does have some protection quality associated
Mhm.
with it when we think about pollution, UV rays, those
Right.
things that we really get concerned about when it comes to oxidative stress. Now, I want to talk about something and share with our audience something that you had mentioned about the hand and body cream.
Mhm.
And this is because it's a product that you don't use every day. I know a question that came up for me because I use the Lumiere Divi lotions. Um,
Mhm.
would it replace any kind of rejuvenation lotion that I'm currently using?
Yeah,
Or
so for me, what my recommendation is the hand and body cream is an incredible product for the whole entire body. And that's like your daily moisturizer, right? So when after you shower or in the morning, that sort of thing, it's great to put it on. But I would use this hand and body treatment as maybe your nighttime treatment 2 or 3 times a week. So it will supplement that on those couple of nights that you're using it, correct? But you
right.
don't need both in tandem. You would use one or the other.
Right. And
Absolutely.
you wouldn't use one. And what I'm hearing is that we wouldn't use one instead of the other. I'm not going to
Right.
get rid of my daily care
Right.
routine, right? I'm going to amplify my routine
Right.
by using this 2 to 3 times a week at night
Absolutely.
so that I can wake up feeling soft, right?
Yes. And supple. And
That's important.
yes, super important. And I think it's good for our hands too. Going through the pandemic, we're all washing our hands more, we're all sanitizing more, as we should be doing in general. And so, our hands need a little bit more treatment than the usual. So, this is like the perfect time for this to come out.
This is also something that's worth talking about from an age management standpoint, is that we'll often talk about you can see an individual's age by looking at their hands.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I definitely want to encourage women to think about not just the health of the delicate skin under their eyes, but in fact, the hand and body cream with the asteryl astaxanthin being something that would be of particular benefit in other areas that we've identified as trouble areas, the décolletage on the neck,
Yep.
right? We
Right.
definitely want to think about our hands.
Elbows,
What's that?
elbows,
Elbows,
knees,
right?
all of
We
those.
want to think about those areas that we think of as either taking the brunt of like wear and tear and movement throughout the day, or those that tend to show aging sooner than others. There are areas on the skin, especially as we age, that thin faster than other areas.
Right.
The backs of the hands, the fronts
Yes.
of the shins. These are great examples of places where you want more hydration, where we want to improve skin thickness in the
Hmm.
sense of that hydration factor, where we want to protect vessels in the skin
Yes.
from oxidative stress. And so many of the cardiovascular and elasticity or elastin benefits that we know of in oral astaxanthin, we know that we can have some benefit with a topical astaxanthin. And I want to
Absolutely.
mention it's not just the short period of time that a product like this can work, that 2 to 3 weeks, depending on
Right.
the role, but in fact that only 2 milligrams of topical astaxanthin is required to get these benefits.
Exactly.
And I think so often in both in health and nutrition and in cosmeceuticals, we end up looking for um, age regeneration treatments that require a large commitment
Right.
to a routine, when in fact, what you've introduced is something that is not just easy to introduce to our daily skincare regimens, right?
Hmm.
But also very easy to introduce to a practitioner that's looking to expand their horizons, looking to expand their product offerings, the type of wellness services that
Right.
they offer. And I want to, in the spirit of majors supporting majors, we find that many individuals in your industry, in working within a salon, spa, and treatment
Hmm.
centers, also see that there's an enormous benefit to working with a doctor supported or a physician
Right.
supported line. We have an amazing skin health formula.
Yes.
We have many oral isotonics, including an isotonic astaxanthin. that can also shift into this world of skincare, and as you referred to it, beauty health. And so this
Right.
line very cleanly goes between the professional physician's line as well as the professional um, spa treatment and skin beauty health facilities. There's a
Yes.
very clear line between these two majors.
Listen, everybody in the world wants to live forever, right? But not only do they want to live forever, they also want to look good living forever, right? So we can offer both to your patient.
I agree. I agree completely. I want to recap before we say goodbye on our lunch and learn. You know what we learned today is that there is a very natural and organic link between a beauty health industry and what we would think of as a more conventional health industry. That
Right.
more and more customers and patients are looking for support, both beauty from the inside out and then health from the outside in. I think,
And
mhm.
sorry,
No, no, go ahead.
whenever a practitioner is telling you that this is going to help you with your health, and if I'm told also that something's going to help with my skin from a practitioner, I'm going to believe what they're saying because you all
Right.
know the best, right? So it's a win-win. Everybody trusts the person that's guiding their health.
I was just having this conversation that practitioners have a higher level of
Yeah.
agency or authority than many other individuals. And so it behooves them to move outside of their natural knowledge base, right, where
Mm-hmm.
they really spent their time,
Right.
and learn about some of the ancillary care options, some of the ancillary knowledge that is out there, whether that is through sleep medicine, that is through weight loss, which we have an amazing major through
Mm-hmm.
TLS, whether that is through a skin health initiative like you and I are discussing, or even business growth and development. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
important that instead of putting on blinders or thinking this is what I do, that we think in a bigger, more community sense about what is it that we can create um, for a practice, for
Right.
a skin health facility, for someone that is looking to kind of move the needle in community health. I really do believe whether we talk about individuals being more willing to adhere to a skincare regimen before they adhere to a diet or healthcare regimen,
Mm-hmm.
or those that feel that the most virtuous goal would be to be physically well. I want to
Right.
challenge those people to think about also being um, not just physically well, but to think about what that means and to be mentally well.
Right.
And I just want to end on this note. I think everybody can appreciate that the very subtle hints of glowing skin, of youthful radiance, it does something for our mental well-being.
Right.
It gives us a sense um, of vitality or energy that we didn't know that we had. And,
Mm-hmm.
the opposite is true when we catch a glimpse of ourselves and we feel that our skin looks dull. We feel that we automatically say, I mean, honestly, what do people say to us when our skin looks dull? They go, "Did you not sleep well? You don't look like you're sleeping very well."
Do you feel
Right?
okay? Are you
Yeah, do you
tired?
feel okay? Right? So again, I just want to like really pin down those points that there's an organic relationship between these two industries of health, outside in and inside out. I
Mm-hmm.
want to pin down that the clinical research is there. And so for every patient or customer that doesn't feel that they saw the results from a skincare regimen in the past, should know that these clinically evidenced ingredients like asteril, astaxanthin make a large difference, and that we can show in a very small milligram dose in a very short window of time improvement. And those
Mm-hmm.
tangible improvements, as you had pointed out, Kim, really improve an individual's compliance or adherence to a regimen. They're more likely to choose another skincare product to maintain
Right.
reward. They're more likely to choose a supplement, or a better eating plan or sleeping plan. What we often find is that small steps lead to big changes. And so if
Mm-hmm.
the place that we start is by feeling beautiful, by feeling vibrant, through a skincare line, I hope everyone that's been able to share this lunch and learn with us today, Kim, says that's the next step that I'm going to take or share with another person.
I
Is there
hope
any
so.
last
I'm
words you
ready
have?
to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Very good. Okay, well, this is our pleasure. Of course, this will be archived on the nutraMetrix YouTube channel. You can find us at on YouTube at nutraMetrix. You can find Motives Cosmetics on YouTube as well. Please make
Mhm.
sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and the
Yeah.
other social media channels that you enjoy. Until I get to see you next time, go be healthy, go be brilliant. Thank you, Kim, for sharing your lunch hour with me.
Thank you. Take care.